with no lies. CVT guitar lesson from Metal Timmy. Timmy, you're busting them out, man. 3-pack. Well, this is the second of 3. Tuning for this song is standard. And yeah, man, let's jump right in. Some cool stuff in here. There's a weird, not weird, but something reminded me of Randy Rhoads in here. I don't know, it might even be in that intro, but really cool. So 2A, 4D, and I'd go first and third finger, and 4G with the pinky. It looks like I'm barring, but I'm not. You gotta make sure you're not covering strings 1 and 2. We're gonna arpeggiate it, which just means we're picking the notes. We're going A, D, B, G. And then keep the notes ringing. Take your index, go 2 on the high E, and then open, and then 4B, we're already there. Pick and do a double pull off to 2 and then to open, which would be, well, you're almost there. Actually, we are there. No, we'd have to drop it down. But anyways, you're right next to it. So, and then I'm going to go to an A2 chord. This is 2D and 2G. I just go first and second finger, go A, D, G, and then strum the B and E together. That's a hold. Actually, I'd go index if you can. This may seem weird. If you can kind of bar the 2 while not touching any of the other strings, you'll set yourself up a little smoother. You would go, and then go 4G as that's ringing, open B, and then 4G. Just the B note being put on 2 different strings, and then start over. Fourth time, you just go right there. Instead of strumming the last 2, we're just going to strum the last 4. A little more distortion now. Going into section 2, which is 23 seconds in, and you'll be going. Okay, so anyways, 2A, 4D, so it's a B power chord. You're gonna hit it and then palm mute. Here's how, if you have to count it, how I would look at it. 3 times on the A string, 2nd fret, and then go 12 times after that, and you can separate that in your mind in 4, 4, and 4. If you've heard this song a lot, Tim, you may not even need to count it. So, leading right into an A5 power chord, open A, 2D, followed by 3 open A's palm muted. And then 2D, we're going to pull off to the 1st fret, so we need that 1st finger pressed down, right? Because we're pulling off to it. Snap with that middle. Get a good, don't just lift, actually kind of pluck it to 2A. To open A, 2D, so it's an A power chord. Short rest as you go to the B power chord, 2A, 4D twice. Quick rest, hit it again, and then an open A, 4D. And then that whole section is 8 times. But the 3rd through 8th time, power chord everything instead of just playing the root. He's hitting a few sporadics in there. It's not really consistent, but for example, like you'll hear like a couple times where he's hitting both strings. But I would keep it solid how I showed you on the 1st and 2nd, and then the 3rd through 8th, just everything will be like Paranoid from Sabbath, right? Alright, and then that'll lead you into section 3, a minute 2 in. And this is the A5 power chord, open A, 2D, sounds like this. That's that whole section. So it's the A power chord, 4E vibrato, and then go 2nd and 4th fret on the E, open and 2 on the A. And if you want, there's 2 guitars. If you want to make it a little fuller, You could blend them. So that 2A you could let ring and then play the open E and B, and then the 2G. You don't have to, like I said, that's coming off a different guitar track. So you'd have, or just, and then A2 strum to an E major, standard E. It's 2A, 2D, and 1G. Just strum everything. To the B power chord with the octave in it. So 2A, 4D, and 4G. Pick straight. Back to the A2, 4E vibrato. And then this time it's different. 2-4 on the E. So second and fourth fret. 4A, half step bend into the second fret A vibrato. So remember, Tim, a half step is what? Is one fret. That's what guitar is set up in, is half steps. So if you're bending, in this case we're bending 4A on the A string, that's a C sharp. When you bend, you're making the pitch go higher. So the half step would be turning that C sharp into a D note. So if you need to test it, there it is. You don't want to just, you know, then yank down on it. So, and then mutes. I think we had this in our last lesson that we did from Pretty Maids. You don't have to do it. It's just kind of a natural thing that happens with a lot of players. Is it goes. There we go. String mutes, basically top 2, 3 strings leading into the rock G, which is 3E muted A, 3B, and 3E. You'd go. If it's too tough to transition that, which it's, I still suggest you work on that, then just hit the G. Then A major, just bar the second fret D, G, and B, and include the open A string. Thumb, I'm going to mute string 6 to deaden it in case I hit it. And then the B5 with the octave in it. So those last 3 chords are. Alright, series of repeats coming in at 1:22. The next new part is the solo, 2 minutes 35 seconds. We're not grossifying any of these. You said just do this one like how they recorded it, so that's what we're doing. Second fret A, hit it again. So it's, and then open 2, then that's quicker, so that's why you're going to see it up, down. And then 2D, we got to get our third finger there. We're going to slide it to the 4th fret, and then the 2G, it's a hold. In other words, you'll hear the 4th fret ringing with it. Okay, then 4D, and then 2 on the G, do a hammer onto the 4th fret. So pick, hammer, and then pick 3 times. Slide to the 6th fret, vibrato. Right? Fourth fret G, hammer onto the 6th, pull off to the 4th, slide to the 2nd. So a lot of techniques in this little riff. Only picking the first note. Alright, 4 on the G, pull off to the 2nd fret. It's cool because we're already there. And then 4-2 on the D, and you're going to alternate pick, so down up. And then 5-2 on the A, down up. Two on the D, pull off to open, 2A, vibrato. I'll play that slow for you. Alright, open A, hammer onto the 2nd fret, then pick it on the 2nd fret, and then go 4D vibrato. 4 on the D, pull off to the 2nd and the open, and then pick the 2D. So if we want to subgroup that, we can go, they're already set up kind of in your rest. And then when you pull to the open, make sure you don't go and strum the others. I catch it on the underneath string, right? Open, 2nd fret, A and D. page 3, up, down, down on the 2nd fret A. And then 2 minutes 45 seconds in, we're going to go on the 2nd fret B, slide to the 4th fret. And then hammer, or pick the 4, hammer to 5. That's the concept of, well, in this case, hammer to the 5, down up on the 5, slide to 7. So it's, or, then when you slide to the 7, you're gonna go down, up, slide to 9, down, up, slide to 10, and then we're gonna reverse it. Down, up, slide to 9, down, up, slide to 7, down, up, slide to 5, down, up, slide to 4, and then down, up, hammer to 5, and then 3B, 4G, vibrato. It's a fast riff. I thought it was, but he went. 2 minutes 50 seconds in, 4th fret B, hammer onto the 5th, and then 7B to 4G vibrato. You're going to do that 3 times. And then the 3rd time, you don't have to pause or vibrato after it. So you have, try it again. Then 4, hammer 5 on the B, 7B, 10B, bend. Actually, you may want to have your 3rd finger handle that. Bending that a whole step, that's 2 frets. So you're taking an A note, bending it to this note. And so I'm going to use 3 fingers. Right? Once you get there, if you can, it's tough to do if you're not used to it, but vibrato it. Okay, 7E, start with an upstroke, and we're going to go 7E, 10, 7B, and then 9G, bend. Slow. And then 7th fret B and E, rather than go, just kind of shift the pressure. And then 10, 7B. Then 9G, bend. And then 7, B, E, B. 10B, bend, vibrato. So that whole phrase. Try it again. That 10th fret bend vibrato, you may want to take that out of there if you're trying to play along with the song, because it's the downbeat of section 3 at 2:55 in. Solo number 2, he does another outro solo. I got you the main solo, Tim, which is the main solo, and I think it had more interesting stuff in it too, but there's a really cool part. I just called it solo 2. It actually kind of becomes the rhythm of it, the solo, I think, but it's a lot of fun. 3:15 in, and it's let's see, I gotta try this slower. Yeah. Or, yeah. Check it out. 9D, 8G, down up. It's a hold, so you should hear 2 notes. And just repeat that, but go 9D, 9G. So I'm going middle index, middle 3rd, and I can leave this down. Just both the index there. Both of them. Back and forth twice, and then go 9, 8, 9, open G. I know that sounds out of key with it, but it's so fast, it's in passing, just to get you to the next part. You know what I mean? It's like a filler. That'll lead you to 7D and 8G. Same concept now. and then 7/9. Again, again. So it's 2 times. And then this part. 7/8 DG, 9D, pull off to 7. And then you'll start it over. Alright? Dude, you're gonna have fun with this. It's only 3 pages of tabs, but I think it'll be a really good song for you, Tim. And I gotta jump to this 5-finger death punch solo. It's kind of a emergency rush for someone, and he's got to have it ready for an upcoming show here on the 31st. And then I'm gonna jump back and get your 3rd one, which is gonna be an Aldo Nova one. Alright? So we'll talk to you soon, Tim. Thanks.